Hi, my name is Rob Latour, and I'd like to share with you a freeware program I've written called A Ruler for Windows. So the program is a pixel ruler for Windows, as well as a reading guide, which allows you to read documents that are extra wide, if you will, on your computer with a lot more ease. So, for example, here's a document here on Wikipedia, and we can just make that wider, and we can read through much easier. So turn that off. So what I'll do is I'll walk through the various features of the ruler and the reading guide. As well, what I'll do is I'll spend a little time to show you how you can design your own skin for it, because the program has a whole bunch of different skins that you can either download, also free, or you can create yourself if you like. And so this one here is transparent, as you can see, but you can have them be solid as well. So there's a solid one. That's my favorite one. That's my go-to one. So we'll be visiting that throughout the demo. So basically, you can have one ruler or one reading guide on your window on your screen at the time, or multiple ones. So here we've got multiple rulers and reading guides. And what I'll do is I'll walk you through the help. So that'll be a guide to me too, so that I don't forget to show you anything. But when you click on these buttons here on the screen, what it does is they all have functions, okay? And if for example I hover over any of those little buttons or controls, it'll give you a little pop-up telling you what they are, and that's all explained here in the help, as well as all of these controls here have like this. Here's the slash here, and what that does is it lets you go from vertical to horizontal and back again. The shortcut keys are all defined here, and this part of the help says that these keys correspond with the same function as clicking on the buttons. So let me just go through some of these. When I have this help open, so I use this ruler to open up this help, so I can move this help around, of course, but I can't move this ruler here until I close the help for it. So I'm just going to press the question mark, and that'll open up. That question mark opens up is the key to open up the help. And then what I'll do is I'll move around and show you the changes on this second ruler here. Excuse me. So the first thing we can do is we can use these little boxes here in the corner to resize the ruler to whatever size you want it to be, and that can be done either horizontally or vertically, like that. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you that. So there it is. So there we can make that smaller, and that's really what that function's about. Now you can also set the ruler to an exact length. So here we see the length of the ruler at 951 pixels. So let's say I want to change that to 450. So I can do that by just clicking on or the number sign, or typing the number sign on the keyboard. So we've already seen this slash, which makes the ruler vertical or horizontal. The Magnify feature has changed in this latest release, 3.6 of the program. So now what I do is when you click on the plus sign here, or you press the plus on your keyboard, what it'll do is it'll open up Microsoft's Magnify program. So there it's opened up on the screen. You can see that it's at 300%, but you can lower that or raise that as your needs are. And what it'll do is it'll when you close it, it'll open up again at the next time at the same level as before. And also there's a way to switch the look of the magnifier. I can't remember what it is right now, but it's Windows M or Alt M or something like that. You can look it up if you want. But I like this kind of viewer over the magnifier myself. There's, I think, 2 or 3 of them. One of the other ones is full screen mode, but I find that distracting. So this one works really well. And then with the magnifier active, what you can actually do is you can move the ruler around, and there's things that you can do in terms of measuring the the size of an object at much greater fidelity. So here, what I want to do is I want to measure this OK button as an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I can use the arrow keys to move the ruler around, up and down, left and right sort of thing. So I can just move that to where the ruler is exactly, and then I can just click. If I click on any of the ticks along here, I can get the value of the of how far along on the ruler I am. So the magnifier is good for helping with that. And to turn it off, you can either go up here and click on the X to turn it off, or you can, if it's running, you can go here and click on the magnify option, and it'll restore itself to normal here. So I've showed you this this line here. I'll just press the C key to clear it, and I'll talk about those lines in a second, but I'll just continue on going through this. So that's the magnifier. So the ticks here, if you just click on this little button here, it'll move the ticks from top to bottom. Or if you're in vertical mode here, it'll put them on either side. And there I'm pressing the I key, which is the equivalent of pressing the ticks button here, and kind of the I looks like a tick, if you will. So we'll talk about changing skins in more detail a little bit later, but just for now, know that the program can have multiple skins, and that you can toggle through them by pressing the O key, or if you actually press Shift, it'll go back, and Shift O, and or you can go forward if you don't press the Shift until you get to the various skin that you want. So that's that. You can, what's this now? About is just showing you we've already seen that. You can minimize the ruler here. That's right. And there it'll be on your desktop. And you can bring it back up again, of course. And you can, exit the program. So I'll just press X to do that, or you can also press Escape to exit the program, is another way to do it. And there is an option here, which we'll talk about later, that if you click it, I'll just show you how that works. If you click it here, confirm exit, and then you go to exit the program, I'll press Escape. It'll just come up, do you want to exit or not? And if you do, then it'll close the program down. And if you don't, well, it won't. And so there we go. We'll turn that off. I hardly ever use that myself. And here we are back in the ruler. And we'll start moving on to some of the other features. So as I mentioned earlier, like the arrow keys allow you to move the ruler around. If you're in reading guide mode, so again, to switch it, I'm going to just press an S, and I'm going to make that a little bigger so it's easier to see. If I press the space bar, it'll bump it down a number of pixels that you define right there. So that's good for reading a document where the lines are a specific distance apart. Now you can also just click and hold it and just kind of bring it down. But if you're going to read a large document, there's actually a Windows setting here. Let me just close those out so that we can see them. And it's under your mouse settings, additional mouse settings, and it's this one, turn on click lock. So if I click that, what will happen is, and this is more of a Windows feature than it is a feature of my program. If you then, let's say we'll start up the program again, it'll be in reading guide mode. If I click and hold on it, and then I let go of the button, because I clicked on and held on it, I should say, then when I move the mouse around, the reading guide will move around as well, without the need for me to continue to hold the button down, and then to release that, I just click again. So that would apply to any application, not a ruler for Windows, of course, but that's something to know. It's a nice little feature of Windows. Also, I'll mention while I'm here that when you are in the reading guide, you don't see these little boxes, and that's just to make it a little less distracting. But if you move your cursor to the corner here, then they will appear. All right. So I'm gonna change that back. How I'm doing this, I'm just pressing the home key, and when I press the home key, what it'll do is it'll just reset everything. It'll return it to kind of ruler mode and put it up in the top left hand corner here. All right, so let's go back to the help. Okay, so let's see what we can do here then. We've got, I think we've talked about all that. So we can, again, we can click on something here to put the measuring line. If you hold the Alt key down and you press one of the arrows, oops, sorry. Sorry, I got that wrong. Oh, sorry, it's the Shift key. You think I know this by now? The Shift key and one of the arrows, then you can kind of nudge the measuring line in one direction or another, and then of course you can do that as well when it's in vertical mode by pressing the up and down arrow keys instead of the right and left arrow keys. All right, so clear the measuring line. So now we've got a measuring line here. We want to get rid of it. We just press C to clear it. Some of the other letters here, let me just go through them in kind of more logical order. M puts a measuring line in the middle. T will put measuring lines in thirds. And there's another thing called the golden ratio. And if you click that, it'll show you where the golden ratio line is. And of course, these will all update in real time if you change the length of the ruler. If you have this guy here clicked though, it won't change, just these other guys. So like the midpoint will change, but this 420 here won't. So to to clear these, I had typed an M, a T, and a G. So I would just type any of those letters, T, M, G, to clear them. So it's like a toggle. So click M again, or not click, but press, and you know, that line will appear and reappear. So if you want the length of the ruler to show up, it's right there. If you don't want that, you just press the L key and it'll hide it. The other thing here is reverse. So here we've got the numbers going from one direction to the other. Every so often it's handy to just reverse them. So that works in both vertical and horizontal mode, if you will. And then, so I'll show you too that if I had clicked a sorry, where are we here? If I had clicked the measuring line when it was vertical, it'll stay there until to release it, even though it's not there on the horizontal plane. And that's because we might want to, and I press R again, we might want to have you know, one ruler up here measuring this box, and we might want to have, you know, yet another ruler. Okay, just reset that to ruler mode. And then I'll do an I to switch the ticks over, and then I might want to have another ruler here to measure how wide that is, or how high it is and how wide it is. So let me just get rid of that one. So clear, golden, length, verse, switch, and thirds. We've talked about all these guys here, which is great. The one other thing I want to show you here then is if you're in reading guide mode, if you press the page down and page up buttons, it'll change the thickness of the reading guide. And of course, you can change the skins on the reading guide in the same way that you could change the skins on the ruler just by pressing the O key. And here's another example of a transparent skin. All right, so that's probably a good segue into skins. So let me just close that out. And so we'll talk about the skins and how to create them. But first, you know, it might be a little obvious, but you can change the language of the help and all the little pop-up buttons and things like that by clicking on the flag there, the flag of the country that you want. All right, so skins. So skins let you change kind of the look of the ruler or reading guide, and you just to change the skin, you just click that to edit skins. And here's a list of all the skins that you know, are installed right now with the program. Here's where they're located. You click that, and it'll show you where on your computer those skins can be found. And you can look at those if you want. You can go inside of them. It's just you can open them up with a program like Notepad++ to see what's in them if you want. But those are the ones that we have now. And we can actually, I'll show you when we create one. We can actually create one, and it'll be put here too. And then you can actually share it with others, and you can send it to people. So if you have an organization, you create a ruler for your organization, or a reading guide for your organization, you can change the skin and share it with your buddies. So as an example of how to do that, so it says more free skins. I'm just going to click that, and that'll open up the website, and it'll show you a list of some additional skins. So to get one of these skins, the program doesn't even actually have to be running. Okay, so I'm just going to close that, and we'll see the skins. And then what we'll do is all we're going to do is we're going to click to download this guy here. In fact, I think we could probably just open it, but let's just we'll download it here, and that downloads it. And then when you download it, you just click open. And here I'm using Chrome, but it works on any browser at all. You click open, and Bob's your uncle. That skin is now yours, and it's there in your collection where it wasn't before. And that's the sort of the same thing with all the skins and these. If I go to locate, you'll see it here. It's called grass. So there it's there now where it wasn't before. All right. So let's create our own skin. Okay, let's create a new one. So to do that, I'm just going to say add. So we're going to create one. We're going to call it flag of all things, and that'll just open up a kind of a default look at what the ruler might look like. The first thing you can do is you can change the background image. So I've got some images here. I'm going to pick one of those. It's going to be the Canadian flag one. So let's just let's do that. So select background images. Oh, look at all the files I've downloaded. Okay, so it's on my desktop, and it's in images. There we go. And there we go. There's the Canadian flag brought in. And so when I've done that, it's brought it in. And what will happen is, like the grass one here, if you looked at the grass one, it'll stretch it when you elongate the ruler or the reading guide. You can also have it go in, actually, oh, maybe this one's tiled. You can actually have it in tiled mode as well, which means it'll kind of just repeat again and again and again. rather than be stretched. So the image itself, it can be of any size you want. Here, this one's there you can see the size of it, if you will, 493 by 249 pixels. But I would recommend that you make it at least 100 pixels by 100 pixels, just because the kind of the height of the ruler here, or the width of the ruling guide. If I had the ruling guide opened, sorry, what I'm trying to say is the width of the ruler when it's in vertical mode is 100 pixels, so at a minimum. So just to say that if you make your image either 100 pixels by 100 pictures or bigger, then it'll work out well for you. So the other thing you can do is you can change the this is where we make it either translucent or pick a color on it to be transparent. So so for example, if I move this to, let's say, halfway through, and I clicked on OK, there's the Prime Minister of Canada there now just texting me a message saying that he really likes this. Okay, so now that what it's done is it's made the ruler transparent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that up again, go back into the school, or into the skins, and then I'm going to keep changing. Now the other thing I can do is rather than making it translucent, I just move it all the way over there. You'll see that little thing that you can read, and what it'll do is it'll bring up an image of my background, and I'm just going to pick a color on it. I'm going to pick white here, and then what that'll do is it'll make the white part totally see-through, and any other colors on the skin will be solid. So there you can move things around and see through your ruler if you want. All right, so back to skins. So we can also change the rotation of the background image, whether it's horizontal or vertical, and we can also change the color of the various lines here. So let me just go back to another ruler face, which will be easier to see on. So here's one there. Just question mark skins. And there you can see the colors of all the reading lines. So like this color here doesn't really work out well. It's the golden ratio color. It's golden, but if I wanted to change that, I just click this and pick a color to change it. And I think that's it. We can restore the original settings. We can remove the skin if we want, or we can disable it. And disabling it, just when you toggle through them, it won't show up. But then you can go back in later and enable it if you like. And that's the skins. So I think we're coming up to the end. So there's a little link to the website if you want to go to the website and watch what will be this video fairly soon. You can do that as well. And I think we're closing in on it. So there's the license. If you want to see what the license is, you click there. Basically, well, you can read it, but basically you're free to use it on as many computers as you like, which is great. Okay, so let's talk about these controls here. I think we've got some of them already, but not all of them. This quick start one, you probably don't need anymore. The program's been around for quite a while, and this is kind of like a speed booster to start it up even faster when you first run it on your computer. But like I say, I wrote this program quite a while ago, and most modern computers are really quite quick for running this application, and you don't need that. But I've left it there anyways. Help balloons, you can show the help balloons like the one you see right there. When you hover over a control, if you turn that off, then they won't appear anymore. Auto expand controls, that's kind of a cool one here. So let me just close that and we'll show you that on the ruler. So this is especially good for people with high resolution monitors. As you get closer to this corner here, what it'll do is it'll expand the controls on either side. Same thing as with the reading guide. And that's just to make it easier for you to click on a control if you want. Fence the ruling guide, that's probably something worth talking about. So it's not checked there. Let's check it and we'll see what that does. Okay, so now we've got the ruler up on my screen, and what I want to do is I want to move it over here, and there I want to, it won't go beyond kind of the bounds of the screen. It'll be fenced in, if you will. Now I happen to have another monitor off to the left here, so you can't see it, but I can, and because it's there and open and active, I can move the ruler, if you will, or the reading guide, over to that other monitor, and then I can come back with it if I want. Oh, there's my brother's birthday, March 4th, the only day of the year that's a command. Okay, so here we go. So that's what fencing the ruler is all about. So basically it fences it to the bounds of your screen. So if I turn that off, all right, then the ruler is no longer fenceable. And then so this is where sometimes you can move it way off screen, or you can do something like I don't know, like this, where you've moved it off, and then it's harder to get a hold of and move back. So that's where you just press the home key, and it'll reset things and put things back to normal for you. So I think that's pretty well everything here. There's a donate button, of course, but that's completely optional. And I guess all I can say at this point is I've really enjoyed writing this program, and I hope it will be of good use to you. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for your time. Bye now.